Hello and welcome back to Kraise presents Vampire. Okay, so we've just leveled up, and now we're at level 8, but we've got the claw ability now, so hopefully we can try and do away. What I'm going to do is put the claw as number 1, heal as number 4, and Shadow Mist as number 3, and the ability to freeze them, whoops, as number 2. Okay, so we've got attack 1, hold 2, 3 for the mist, and 4 to heal. Okay, we haven't got now what I do want to do on this mission is go and find someone to eat. So we're just going to have a little look about town. Have a, just generally get the lay of the land. What's this? The king and country need you. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I don't know what this is. It's letting me in though. Oh, it's a cadet. Oh, lovely.
Watch yourselves! There's one of them!
Yeah, blood's gone up a lot. I like it. And we get common handling part. Good, okay. That was quite a lucky find. Ah, so it's them. They are spying on her. Okay, so 3 days ago, one of our new recruits heard a rumour about the presence of a female vampire hiding in the hospital. We all have her first name, Thelma. Your mission is to discreetly go there and observe any suspicious activity concerning said leech, then report directly back to us, and we will decide what action should be taken. Killing them probably just made her life a little bit harder, but, small bag of junk. Brilliant. I really like Thelma, so I think I'll keep her alive. Let's continue the hunt for now. Find the local command post. Oh, okay, so it's actually taking me to more food. I think this is going to be a bit more of an interesting mission because we've got things to do rather than, talking to people in the hospital. We're actually doing stuff. Okay. To the citizens of London, curfew at 9 PM until 5. Citywide curfew, imperative that you wear a mask. Okay, so these guys we're in shit town, essentially. Oh, look at that, 18. Oh, wow. Okay, so he beat the crap out of me. If you're not strong enough, remember that blood says that blood of citizens is the fastest way to evolve. Okay, so yeah, don't go that way. That's the lesson here. Okay, so where am I? Start the area. Enter at your own risk. Okay, we just won't go up there for now. Okay, these guys are level 12. Do you know what? Let's not for now. Powder and shards. We seem to have a lot of those. Oh, we lost a lot of blood there too. We really need to hunt someone down. Screws and a bag of junk. Rats.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
These guys seem quite tough around here as well. Let's get up here and see if I can surprise one of them. Him dead. Yeah, no chance. I'm out of here. Do they follow you? No. Okay, but I mean, there's 4 of them, that's the issue. If it was just him, it wouldn't be an issue. God bless rats. Okay. That's put me in a better position. Follow me. Ah, nope, dead. That's a shame. Damn. So, the area behind me is 18. This one is 12. Yeah, we lost a lot of blood there too. Okay. Alright. Let's go and have a chat with this guy. I think that was locked, isn't it?
Hospital. It's locked.
Okay.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague. Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Jadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Jadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir.
I quit.
It's just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Okay, so... Oh, we can trade with him. First person I've come across we can actually trade
Goodbye,
with.
Mr. Jadana.
Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Let's try that again.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Okay.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay.
Poof.
No soul anymore. All gone.
Indeed. Good way to look at it, I suppose.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
Yeah, for sure.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Oh, okay.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir.
Maybe he
Why,
attempted to
we
when you
first
died.
talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Yeah, she had an accident.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why what, you weirdo?
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Cadavers. What a lovely word.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases
Some people
can
are
spread.
desperate.
For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
Oh, you've never met me before.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Okay,
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No, I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
everything does.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is, we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
That's the problem with living such long lives, even as humans now. We spend an awful long time as an old person. If we spent an awful long time as a young person, it wouldn't be so much of a big deal, but we don't.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No,
Yes,
Doctor.
indeed he is.
I am a foolish man, but I like to think otherwise.
I like this guy. I do. Let's trade.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Codeine. Yeah, don't need that. Oh, wedding ring. Okay, so can we find many cheap fortifiers for its invigorated properties? Highly diluted, could be used in medical solutions due to strong codeine. Opium. Okay, so unfortunately he doesn't have. Mind you, what the hell do we need? Oh, what's that? Opium. I want to go back up to my room. I want to see. Of course, I've gone the wrong way, but never mind. I want to see. Alright, he's. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, what's that? Glass vials. There's about 1 million of them. Nurse is needed. Fair enough. Yeah, all of a sudden, I can. There's loads of stuff that I can find. Medical file. Okay. Age 28. This is Elwood. The patient's face is heavily burnt and disfigured by a bomb during the war. Even the use of strong sedatives, he affirms to regularly induce severe pain from the wounds, as if the flames are still burning his skin. He says examinations of cauterized tissue show no trace of inflammation, infection, or swelling that was in his head. Scars are clean. Could be a case of persisting nerve damage. Yep. The patient never ceases to blame himself for his disfiguration. Blah. Could be a case of guilt of the survivor. Phantom pain manifesting as a punishment for not dying with his comrades. Yeah, indeed. Let's see what he needs. Let's go back to the room first. Because I want to see what I can create. Regenerates 300 health. Okay, let's make one of them. Can I upgrade this yet? No. Common handle parts needed. Right. G. Okay. See, there's bits everywhere. All of a sudden, the whole place has just opened up to loads of bits everywhere. Sanderson. Nice. Don't even know what that is, but looks okay.
I wonder what your last thought.
Okay. The use of garlic and wooden stakes. Dear brothers, I must now draw your attention to the very important points of using garlic as a protection against vampires. Let's be crystal clear on the subject. Garlic will never protect you against those creatures, no matter how fresh, how strong, how smelly. Which is fine. Garlic is totally useless as a defense. I can never say enough how damaging that novel of Bram Stoker has been. Yes, of course. Population of Slavic countries place garlic cloves in coffers. Yes, of course. Inhabitants of Santorini Island hang garlic in their windows. There will be so much to write about this place, and someday soon I hope to go back to this island to further explore its occult tradition. But that's not to protect the living from the devil. It is to tell the dead that they are aware of their malevolence. It is a symbol, nothing more, nothing less. So please, by all means, yes, wear garlic, show garlic, hang garlic, and tell the shadows that you are not afraid. But if you're looking for supernatural protection, you will have to search much deeper into forgotten secrets of the occult tradition. For here is the truth, my fellow brothers. Garlic does not repel vampire, but all the fresh plants will hurt. As if their body cannot stand in the presence of botanical elements. I have seen an enraged flee when racked with a rose. Ah, right, okay. I've seen an enraged volt flee when whacked with a rose. Yes, a simple rose. I have witnessed a violent econ fall down and beg for mercy when struck by a wooden stake. I didn't know it was so effective. I would give my left arm to find the answer to that mystery, but the truth remains nonetheless, vampires are very sensitive to fresh herbs, plants and woods. From Facing the Shadow and How and Why, by Usher Talltree, primate of St. Paul. Fine. Let's talk to her and see if we've got anything new.
How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Tell me, Thelma.
Okay.
What do you really know about vampires?
I saw one and he saw me. I watched him hunt and kill. I saw his terrible wounds heal as his victim died. And then I knew I was saved.
You mean you actually saw a vampire? Here in London?
Yes. And it has been the answer to my pain. I must drink and kill to regenerate my decaying body. I am a vampire too.
You have no idea what problems your claim could cause if heard by the wrong people, Miss
Yeah, indeed.
Howcroft.
There are people looking at you.
You must stop this nonsense now.
Why fear the truth? Strange things live in the dark, Dr. Reed.
That's true.
Strange and ancient beings that were here before this island even had a name.
Okay, that's it for her.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
I wish I could be sick again. Feel my blood boil with the fever.
Okay, we've got a quest upstairs apparently. Oh yeah, talk to Edgar. We'll do that. We'll do that now.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead?
for sure.
Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
As I said earlier, you can't write it. Okay, yeah, I think that's
I'm
more
a
likely.
dead man. I was murdered. Now I'm a murderer. Tell me how this is a gift.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
I'm not some doe-eyed
Okay,
student.
yeah, no
Edgar.
apologising.
I understand we both have something to gain from this relationship.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please,
Oh, good.
go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now,
This
if
is the
you
woman,
could
yeah.
help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit.
And she'll get me
Her
to do it.
ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Okay, yep, that'll do. Anything in here I can nick? What's this? Letter. Okay, dear Dr. Swansea, I'll be glad to manage the temporary morgue as soon as it's opened. As I've already told you, I was a doctor during the war and I'll be glad to serve my country again. I know it's not the same being a physician for the dead as it is for the living, but I believe it is important and welcome to take good care of our departed too. Rest assured, I will do my best to fully perform this new duty to the best of my ability. Concerning the question of my qualifications, I'm sorry I can't give you anything more valuable than my parole. I swear to you that my regiment made me a doctor during the war, and that I saved many lives. If my word is not enough, you can contact the military administration to verify my experience and skills. They will confirm that even if I never followed any medical studies, the war taught me what a doctor really needs to know. Which is fair enough. On-the-job training, we call that. Warning letter. Dear Dr. Swansea, I must have performed with my deepest reservations concerning Dr. Strickland and Harvey Fiddick case. Mr. Fiddick has been hospitalised for a severe work injury. He may permanently lose his use of his arm if not treated adequately. Dr. Strickland claims that a surgical procedure may save the man's arm completely. I say it may also sever its functions for good if complications arise. Fine. Our young colleague is an audacious and daring surgeon who might prove a great professional in a few years, but for now he lacks the skills to perform such a risky procedure. Need I remind you of the mistakes he made in the past? Since Dr. Strickland refuses to listen to me, I strongly advise you forbid him to perform such a hazardous experiment. Dr. Aykroyd. Okay. What have we got? Rare species of vampire. As a scholar and exegete of ancestral writings, I would never insist enough about the importance of taking legends and ancient folklore into account when searching for hints about the hidden or lost secrets. A common mistake is to take what we know for an established truth and use it to discard any contradictory material, hence religion. For example, we must consider the possibility of undiscovered species of vampires and the necessity to rethink what we see as the established truth about the various types of immortals based on what we know and what we've gathered through time. For how many centuries did we consider that vampire was the vernacular term for what we have learned to call econ, until the day 4 explorers of the Brotherhood found proof in Siberia that Volkods were a lupine type of vampire. We discovered these creatures to be linked to the mythological werewolf, Now we know it's not true. What about the rest? What about the Rakshana? Can't even say that word. Rakshasa from my homeland. What about the Chinese Jiangxi, or the pension of South Chile? And without even leaving the beautiful Great Britain, what about the stories about the bat-shaped woman sometimes seen flying on St James's Church in Louth? What about the creature only identified as disaster in some obscure testimonies, which tried to destroy London in 1066 by spreading plague all around the city? What about the Nimrod, the mythical figure of the restless vampire hunter, sometimes described by ancestral British icons as a legendary huntsman who only feeds on his prey's blood and could go unnoticed amongst mortals and immortals? I tell you, my brothers, we never can be too sure of what we find. If only we could forget for a few minutes that we were what we're supposed to already know. From Unveiling the Night by Usher Talltree. I'm very much looking forward to that guy. Yeah, there's a lot of lore in this room. That's good. I like it. What's this? There's something definitely flickering here, I'm sure of it. Oh, clearly not. Okay. We are getting ever so dangerously low on blood. We need to do something about it. We need to do something about it right now. I'm going to go back to see those vampire hunters. Blackwall Forborg. Good, give me a little bit. That actually canes my blood. Let's go in here and see what we can find. Ah, small lies hit. Oh, ouch. Ouch! Okay, so it is doable with those guys, so I think we'll go back. But when you die, they all come back, clearly, which I wasn't really aware of. Okay, let's go back, try that again. Okay. Hopefully this time we can catch some people unaware. Oh, you're safe. Large box of pills. Blimey, okay. No, we'll go back. So what we might be able to do. Go here. Okay, that's him. Let's heal. Who else is around? It's just him.
Over there! There's one of them burning!
Yeah, he doesn't want to come over here. No one else is around, so we can just drain the crap out of this guy.
Get back in the grave!
Whoa! What the hell was that? I do keep forgetting I've also got the claw skill, which I purposely got for this particular occasion. Oh, we lost a lot of blood there. God, these houses are all so cramped. Okay, yeah, let's... Shame we can't go up there really.
Steady, boys!
Stamina is an issue for us. Okay, so that claw is deadly. Fantastic. That claw is absolutely devastating. I can't believe I haven't been using it up until now. Okay.
Bloody monster!
Oh, he did it again. I don't know what he's got this ability that just kills you straight away. Unbelievable. Okay. So when you die, you lose an awful lot of blood. Let's get these 2 rats, and then we can go and talk to that doctor. Okay, that's enough for now.
Despicable.
You don't like eating rats, but you'll happily eat a human, huh? Blimey. Crumpled letter. Dear love, I finally found the missing money for the fee asked by the ambulance driver to bring you to the hospital. Don't worry about anything now except getting better. I took care of everything. I asked some of our neighbours and they told me that this Mr. Hooks is something of an honest crook. He may ask for extra money in exchange for a bed, but the bed is then guaranteed. I'm sorry if I refuse to pay first. I realise now that important this thing is for you to get that you get better soon. The Pembroke Hospital is a good place, I heard, despite the bad behaviour of this Milton Hooks. I promise you that everything is okay now. I'll see you in your clean bed as soon as possible. With fondest love, Nikolai. Okay, well, clearly he didn't get very far. Clearly you didn't get very far at all. Okay.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
You too, mate. You too.
Tell me the truth about your appointment as a medic during the war, Rakesh.
The regiment administration appointed me by mistake. I had to learn the job on the spot, sir.
Good for you.
Very hard, sir. But I rose to the challenge.
Actually, do you know what? I'm not really sure what to do here.
Do you realize how many soldiers died because of that decision? You should have refused.
Yes, sir. I swear I did, sir. But no one listened. When the first wounded arrived, I had to do what I could.
It is an unbelievable story, Mr. Chidana.
It was a time beyond belief, Dr. Reed. But I'm happy not to deal with the wounded. I prefer caring for the dead now.
Fair enough.
You can't impersonate a doctor. You can't improvise a medical education. People could die at your hands.
You're absolutely right, sir. But as a field surgeon, it was more like being a butcher.
Do you believe you have really helped these people?
Yes.
My ratings were within the averages of the regiment. I saved lives, Dr. Reed. Does that not say enough about triage and war surgery?
I think he was pretty brave for doing it, to be honest. Okay. I think that's it for him.
Have you heard of someone blackmailing people in the hospital?
Pardon me, sir, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Goodbye,
it for him.
Mr. Chidana.
Can't get out that way.
It's safer here than anywhere else in the East End.
Ah, that's him, the crook. We'll talk to him in a minute.
The flu took
Right.
my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here.
She's gonna eat
We'll be
him.
up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Well, better that than the sweet, sweet lady of death.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Well, yeah.
So it seems our Dr. Swansea does indeed have a fascination for creatures of our constitution.
Dr. Swansea is a remarkable man. Dedicated, one might say, obstinate? He spent years compiling our bestiary.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea
If you wish.
has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
The
I believe
world
you.
would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
So basically you put people out of their misery, right?
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
Is it another vampire?
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
Well, yes, I have to admit.
If
Why
we're
not solve it
dealing with
yourself?
An ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
Okay, let's get to the
What
crux
are
of
your
the matter.
expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
That's what she said.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our
Who could it
anonymous
be, I
scoundrel is
wonder?
clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Well, no point asking if it's true.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion,
Oh,
but I do
yes.
fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Can we talk to her
Is our
again?
little mystery closer to being solved, Dr. Reed?
I think of nothing else, my lady.
My situation is delicate, and it occupies all my thoughts. The blackmail must stop. I need assurance.
Okay, so no more questions to be asked there. Now, let's have a conversation with our little blackmailer friend here. Oh wait, there's something gleaming over there. Who are you?
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure
Yeah,
of that.
punch of the
I
neck,
see.
suck.
Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
How are things here?
Let's
Not
just get
good, to
these
say
little
the least.
conversations out of the way.
We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy. Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
Yeah, the quitters.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Corcoran Tibbets. He's the guy that we want to speak to about that dead body we found in the morgue in the previous episode.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No, I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's it there.
Have you heard rumors of anything underhand going on here at the hospital?
No, Doctor. Never.
Well, that was short.
Do you require medical assistance, nurse?
Thank you for your concern, but I'm fine.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Oh, there's a glowy over here. Okay, so... Who are you? Ah, here we are, Mr.
Good evening,
Tibbets.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now.
Yeah, vampire.
Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
Okay, so...
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly
buggered.
the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
Okay, so... Yeah.
I can't say I'm thrilled to be working here, but to be honest, I didn't have much of a choice.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It
For
just
sure.
lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah,
he's
yes,
doing a
the
good
burden
job too.
of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office down again.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
See, this guy looks like a
Nurse
vampire
Brannigan
himself.
is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further.
Her skills.
If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No, we must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient.
This is the bit I wanted to do.
Died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Which happens when you're a doctor. Ask any of them.
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick
Yep,
man
it
from
happens.
the docks. Maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed a body.
Why not stop practicing?
Because
I'm
it's the
mad.
kind of
I killed
thing a
that
doctor
man,
does all
I
sorts.
admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
Yeah, I've
Have
Well-
you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
I have no time for such triviality, my dear colleague. We're here to save lives.
he seems a very dedicated individual, doesn't he? I think that's it.
Do you need any medical assistance yourself, Doctor?
Come on, don't be ridiculous, dear colleague.
Okay, fair enough. I was just
Goodbye,
asking.
Dr. Tippets.
You know, I've got some cocaine and I've got opium here.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Okay, yeah.
Why does Dr. Tippets claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite...
Because
his
you're having it
If
off.
it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Doc... Why do...
If it wasn't for him,
Sorry, I
probably
skipped that
would
bit.
have
I didn't mean
left the
to.
Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippets does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Tell me what Dr. Tippets did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippets would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't
Indeed.
allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippets in our situation?
Because of a mistake. But
I
Yeah,
can't
I
say
understand
I
completely.
approve as a field surgeon, I know that some situations require you to bend the rules.
I'm not proud of what I've done, but to contain the epidemic must be our priority.
Yeah,
so
the
we can't
greater
afford to
cause.
lose Dr. Tippets.
Absolutely.
I've decided that I won't reveal Dr. Tippets. Shall we say, misdemeanor?
I'm so glad you share my point of view. Dr. Tippets is a brilliant practitioner. We most definitely need his know-how.
I hope you're right. This is a huge risk we're taking.
Dr. Tippets must regain his confidence. Please, keep this decision between you and me. He doesn't need to know you found out.
He already knows. Okay, anything else for you? No? Okay.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Again, it does feel like a lot of this game is, you know, talking to people about certain different things.
Simpletons, these nurses. Bred with
Oh.
no respect.
Not spoken to you before. Small bag of junk. Okay, what's your issue?
What? What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern.
Oh,
Dr.
this lady's
Swanson?
fiery. Shut up.
If you continue shouting, I'll have you restrained and gagged. Understood?
I'm the boss
How
here.
brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse, or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something.
You're spot on,
This
love.
isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
You're sitting in a hospital
God's
bed.
honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
Well, considering your demeanour, love, yeah.
You seem to know more about the goings-on here than anyone else. Beware, Miss Jones, in case suspicion should fall on you.
That's it. Blame the old and
You seem...
That's it. Blame the old and infirm. I see those little bitches' greedy little eyes. Just waiting for me to pop off they are.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on.
God, I'll
See you on the
be
next
surprised as to what. Let's have another shout.
Miss
Another
Jones,
chat with her.
Again? Waking a poor old woman in her sleep? There isn't a poor life needs saving somewhere?
Now, I need to ask you a few simple questions.
Well, if you really must.
If you could just tell me why you were admitted.
It's terrible, Doctor. What with a pain in my chest, coughing up blood, and I get awfully tired. Wouldn't be so bad if I hadn't lost my house and all.
I see.
No one
Lung
comes to
cancer, I
visit
wonder?
you. Not even my own flesh and blood.
Have you noticed any suspicious comings or goings?
It would be a great deal easier to make a list of things unsuspicious in this house of charlatans.
Everyone here is very capable. I have not seen any instances of unprofessionalism.
Thieves and murderers, the lot. People have gone missing here, you know. Poof, without a trace.
Oh, maybe she is the blackmailer.
Come now, Miss Jones. Surely it's not that bad.
Have you no eyes? This hospital accepts all manner of souls, regardless of origin.
What, you
The
think
proper
they should?
sick cannot heal. We're kept sickened by the refugees.
What a horrible woman. Horrible,
I'll come and
horrible
visit you
woman.
shortly. Good night, Miss Jones.
Okay.
The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
This
Good
is the
evening,
guy
Mr.
we saved.
How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, Sora, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
He saw
I
me
was
as a
not
vampire.
myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
How did you
Yeah, what the hell was
end
he
up
doing
in
there?
William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
Okay.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll stick with that.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation
Pretty
has
dire,
always
I'd
been
imagine.
tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers Trade Union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long. You know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint. Not even criminals.
True. Not in those days.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Clay Cox? Never heard of him.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Who should I
Corruption.
avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Okay. Bit of a mute point,
What do you
really,
do for a
but
living,
still.
Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
So, yeah.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
So delusional.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
That's true, because it's not affecting me in any way.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really. But I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
How do you feel?
Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually.
Good night's
William
sleep might
drank
do it.
so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton.
Yeah, that's it for him.
We'll talk again later.
But we didn't get any... we got 1,000 XP, so...
I wish I could be sick again. Feel my blood boil with the fever.
Let's go back to our room. See if we can make anything useful. Level up. Leveling up is key to this game, apparently. And we're doing okay blood-wise as well.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
How do I give it some? Okay. Yeah, let's recycle that. And that, considering we've got one. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to do that. Can't make any of these things yet. We can make one of those. Yeah, let's do that. We can make one of these. 60 blood points instantly. 2, 2, 2. Yeah, let's do that. Good. Okay. He doesn't look very well, does he? Okay, that would be useful. Level 10 for these. Three serums, bullets, not really fussed about that. Increase your blood capacity. 300. Do you know what? My main issue at the moment is stamina. Okay. What do I need for this? 2,000. I need 2,000 for that. 1,300 for that. 600 for that. 300 for that. So that's going to be my next part. Okay. Following night. I think that'll do it for now. I'm going to leave it there for now. Thank you very, very much for joining me on this. Please do join me for the next episode, and we'll go and talk to the two nurses. We're now at level 9, and I think we're a little bit better equipped to kind of deal with harder enemies, but we'll see. I died a lot around that district, but it's kind of taught me a lesson not to go anywhere near it until I'm ready. For now, thank you very, very much for joining me, and I will see you on the next episode. Best of luck now. Bye-bye. Take care.